Hello, learners. In this lesson, we are going to build the foundation of how data is stored and managed inside a program. First, you will understand what variables are, how they act as containers that can store different types of data and change during program execution. Next, we will explore constant in both C and Python. You will learn what constants are, why we use them, and how they help make programs safer and more reliable. Then we will move into the data types in C, including integer, floating point, character, and more. We will also learn about their memory size and range in a 16-bit machine, which is especially important for low-level programming. After that, we will explore data types in Python. You will discover how Python handles numbers, strings, booleans, and complex structure, and why Python's data type are flexible and powerful. Finally, we will look at the complete memory and range table for C data type on a 16-bit machine, along with all types of constant used in programming. By the end of these lessons, you will clearly understand how variable constant and data types work together to store and process information in your program. So, let's get started. So, what is a variable? A variable is a named location in memory used to store data. Think of it as a container where you can keep information that your program needs. Now let's look at the characteristics of variable. They can store data, their values can change, and every variable has a name, a type, and a value. Now look at to the important naming rules for the variables. A variable name must start with a letter or an underscore. It cannot start with a number. No spaces are allowed. Special characters are not allowed, and you cannot use keywords as variable name. So now let's start understand the key difference between C and Python. In C, you must declare the data type before using a variable, but in Python, you don't need to declare the type. Python automatically detects it. This is called dynamic typing. As an example, in C, int space a is equal to 25 and ended with a semicolon. And here the same thing in Python. There is no need of declaring any data type a is equal to 20. It will automatically detect the data type. So variables are simple, flexible, and essential for every program you will write. Now, actually, what is a constant? In C, a constant is a fixed value that cannot change during the execution of the program. Once you set it, you can't modify it, and that's why constants are so useful for defining values that stay the same. There are two common types of there are two common ways actually to create constant in C. The first method is by using the const keyword. For example, const space float float space pi equal to 3.1416 ended with a semicolon. Here pi is a float constant and its value is permanently fixed. The second method is by using a macro constant, or we can tell it by symbolic constant with the hashtag define directive. Like this, we can write hash define pi 3.1416. So this tells the computer to replace every occurrence of pi with 3.1416 before the program runs. So remember, whether you use constant or hashtag define, constants help make your code cleaner, safer, and easier to maintain. And you always use this constant value when it is not changing. Suppose we know that the value of pi is 3.1416 and it will not change by any value. Okay. Comparatively, in Python, there is no true constant like we have in C, but developers follow a simple naming convention to create values that should behave like constants. For example, they write the constant name with capital letters pi equal to 3.1416. Writing constant in all capital letters tell other programmers that these values are not meant to be changed. Technically, Python will still allow you to modify them, but by convention, good programmers simply don't. So in Python, constants are followed by discipline. but there are that is not enforced by the language. Now come to the data type. Data types actually help the programming language understand three important things: what kind of data you are storing, second, how much memory it needs to allocate, and the last, what operations you are allowed to perform on that data. In the C programming language, you must always declare the exact data type before using a variable because C is a statically typed language. But in Python, things work differently. Python automatically determines the type of data at runtime. This is called dynamic typing, and it makes Python more flexible and beginner friendly. Here in C, we use static typing, which means you must declare the type of a variable before using it. The compiler needs to know exactly what kind of data the variable will store so it can allocate memory correctly and enforce the allowed operation. Let's look at the common C data type in a 16-bit machine. Suppose integer or short integer, it needs 2 bytes memory, and unsigned int or unsigned short, it needs 2 bytes memory. Long int, it needs 4 bytes memory. Unsigned long int, it needs 4 bytes memory. So these ranges actually help you to choose the right type of data depend on your data when you want to store it. Let's take a look at different data type in C. Integer types are used for whole numbers. For example, int space n is equal to 10, or long long int is a long week equal to 50,000. So character type stores a single character like char grade is equal to uh, a in a single quotation. So always character type stores a single character within a single quotation. Floating point types are used for decimal numbers. For instance, float price is equal to 10.5, double text equal to 0.025. Okay, so for the integer type number, it is int, or long character type number, it is char. Floating type number, it is either float or double. Finally, we have the void type, which means no value or no return. For example, void display. There is a display is a function which function is not returning anything to us. Okay, so using a right data type ensures your program stores data efficiently and work correctly. So this is very important to choose correct data type when you writing a program in C. Now look at into Python data types. In Python, we have dynamic typing, which means you don't need to declare a variable's data type. Python figures it out automatically. Some key points about Python data types. So Python integers have unlimited size, so you can store very large number without worrying about overflow. Python floats always use double precision, which is 8 bytes, giving about 15 digits of accuracy. Python manages memory automatically, so you don't need to worry about allocation or bit size. So Python has actually dynamic typing, so no need to declare data type. Let's quickly look at the main Python data types. Numeric types are used to store numbers. Int store whole numbers like x equal to 25. Float store decimal numbers like y equal to 3.14 using double precision. Complex store complex number with real and imaginary parts like z equal to 2 plus 3j. In sequences store collection of items in order. That is, a list is a mutable ordered collection. For example, my list is equal to 1 to 3 within third bracket. Tuple is an immutable ordered collection like my tuple equal to 1 to 3 within a first bracket. Range is an immutable sequence of numbers such as range from 0 to 5. So str store text like name equal to Shukanto within a double quotation. Sets are unordered collection of unique items. Set is mutable. That is, my set is equal to 1 to 3 within a second bracket. Frozen set is also immutable. Frozen set is also immutable. So in case of mapping, dict stores key value pairs. For example, my underscore dict equal to uh, a within a within a double quotation is to one. That is, dictionaries are mutable. For bool stores either true or false. For example, is underscore active is equal to true or false. Non-type represents the absence of a value like x equal to none. So Python is dynamically typed, so you don't need to declare types explicitly. The interpreter automatically detects the type when a variable is created. So understanding these types and categories is crucial to writing efficient, readable, and bug-free programs in Python. So in Python, the language automatically detects the type of a variable when you create it. For example, if you have a variable called age, so you can check its type using the type function. Just write print and within the print write type age. This will display the data type of age on the screen. It's a simple way to confirm what Python has assigned to your variable and helps you understand how dynamic typing works. Okay, now let's look at constant in C and Python. Both C and Python can store integer constant like 10. Floating constant, that means for decimal numbers we use floating point constant. In C it is a 3.14, Python is same as 3.14. Character constant, C has a character type, for example uh, A within a single quotation. So within a single quotation we can write anything as a character type. Python does not have a separate character type. Instead, it uses a string of length 1. That means there is no character type, all belongs to a string constant. Strings are sequence of characters in C that here, for example, double quotation, within a double quotation there is a string hello. In Python, it is also same. Another is the enum constant. In C, you can define enum constant like this enum space day, then write down the days name Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, etc. and end it with a semicolon. In Python, you use the enum class from the enum module. So while both languages support constants, Python handles some types differently, like characters and enums. Okay, and that's wrap up chapter 6, where we explored the essential of variables, constant, and data types in both C and Python. We learned how to store and manage data using variables and constant, the difference between static typing in C and dynamic typing in Python, numeric character, string, boolean, and other data types, as well as we already learned about how memory size, range, and type selection affect our program. Now that you have a solid understanding of how data works inside a program, it's time to move forward. In the next lesson, we will try to learn about operators and expressions and how to perform calculations, compare values, and make logical decisions using operators in your programs. So, operators are what let your program actually do something with the data you have stored. So, get ready to put your variables and constant into the action. Okay, and if you are new in my channel, please subscribe it and share it with your friends and family.